in the cure phase again, and didn't somebody have a point on there? What happened to the yellow's point? I don't know where it went. Did it fall off my table? I may have removed it. Yellow's got a point on Nestor, and for some reason I think I removed it, but I don't know. Oh no, it's Victor, right? No, yellow put a point on Nestor, and blue doesn't have any. What the hell? Green would have stopped that? That must supposed to be a green piece. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, whatever. Why would green have done anything? I don't remember the reasons behind this, but green would have put their piece on there. I think it was just, I don't know. Anyway. Very easy for me to get confused trying to cope with all this, especially with the camera. This is one of those games that's kind of fun to play solo. It's really tough to pay attention to all the different stuff though, which is why I threw the cards out, but now there's this too. And it just does not translate. It's like playing diplomacy solo. It ain't the same thing in any sense because it's all about the hidden information. Anyway. All right. So anybody who's sick could take the cure. Well, this is a hard call. If Nestor takes the cure, he improves his odds a little bit, right? He's currently 83. He'll be going up in age. He improves his odds of healing a little bit. He's got almost no chance of waving as things are. So I think green is going to declare that Nestor is going to take the cure. Now there's a problem with this. Nestor could end up heading off to Siberia because he's not able to vote for himself. He's in one person's hands, and there are a lot of people who say, well, I gotta vote for him, but I can't beat that too. I will never get him. If I send him to Siberia, maybe I will. Who knows? But I sure ain't getting him now. So that's kind of a dangerous situation. Now, the party chief will be getting an age, I believe, even though he's at the sanatorium. Yeah. All right, so he goes up to an 84 at this point. And he didn't go to the sanatorium, so he doesn't take extra age for his illness. This guy, well, the only person who has a point on him is Brown. I think Brown wants to expose that point. It's not that big a danger to send him to the cure as well. Again, an older character has problems, but he has a question mark, so he also picks up a year, and he is in a lot of trouble there. So Nestor doesn't have a vote to protect himself here. There's a bonus on a purge, I think. Unfortunately not listed on there, so I can't say it for sure. Yeah, there's a +3 to the die roll if you're purging someone who's in the sanatorium. So actually a purge is more likely against Nestor. Of course, we'll see who actually gets to do this. Purge is number 2, 2B, 2A. The ideology chief will get a shot at that. Okay, anyone else get anything? People who are in the wrong place. He's in the wrong place. He goes up to a 69. Oh, he's got a question mark too. Make that a 70. He's getting old fast. Wrong place, 57. Right place, that would help her. And actually, yellow appears to have helped her. The truth of the matter is yellow has no points in her, but that's concerning maybe brown and green. Unlikely that there'd be a 10 on Natasha, but it's possible. She's young and lovely, and likes to kill moose, kill squirrel. No, she's fairly young and could be was already in that second level, so she could be a pretty good choice. They have 9s in her. It's unlikely that the 10's there, but we'll see. Well, we know it's not. Don't we? We don't know where blue's 10 is. It's on Victor. All right. And then we're fine here. None of these can age anyway. All right. We're on the purge, KGB. We'll see if we do anything here. KGB is taking the cure. Well, that drops down to ideology. Vasily, does anyone want to declare him? We got some people who have him. It would be nice to purge Victor. Victor's not under investigation right now. Let's see who has him. Black. Now Victor's Z. Black's not interested in Z, so he might want to do this. Olive. Olive certainly doesn't and might fight against that. And Green, who doesn't feel like he's going to give Victor, may not want to actually purge him though. So probably won't put any points. So Vasily's not terribly interested in a purge of that. Might he want to purge Nestor? Yeah. Or Andrzej? You know, they're kind of sick. So I'm going to pass on the option. I don't feel like, once you get into a tighter game where somebody maybe is close to winning and they have their points exposed, you might want to direct things. But at this point, playing it close to the vest has serious value. So now we go to, of course, nobody gets the party chief power. We're a little worried about Anatole, aren't we? But we have good points on Anatole, so we don't think he's going to be a problem. That's our feeling. He's first level Politburo, though, so he could have heavier points. I've only got 7 on him, and he does, actually. So now we go to the spy investigations, and Anatole is not taking the cure, so he has options. And one of his options is to close an investigation against himself. Chances are one of these two, black or brown, wants to do that. You don't want to keep him aging there. Black is going to put a marker in play to do that. And we'll add a point of age. Brown is not going to object to that. It was just a matter of who ends up going in there doing it first. So he removes that investigation. Now the question is, does Black want to put Vasily under investigation? Yes. And Brown does not care about that. So we'll go up to 72. We'll move an investigation there. How about Andrzej? Black's not interested in F. You know, removing him, is it worth it? Yeah. Because there have to be 2 votes in favor of keeping him alive. Order? Nestor doesn't get a vote. Andrzej doesn't get a vote. They're both taking the cure. Victor? Victor currently is under blue. Olive also has votes that could go for this. Neither of them are interested in F. So Victor, nobody's declaring his vote in their favor. What about Anatol's vote? Oh, jeez. Well, maybe Anatol didn't want to do this, because if Brown has more points, he currently holds Andrzej. He would rather protect the point he has in Andrzej. So we're running back. He's not going to open an investigation, is what I'm saying. So Brown goes up to a 2-bit. Well, Black's got that beat. Does Black want to just throw points in, or do this slowly? Black throws his 7 into play. He's showing his hand, basically. Do you want to jump to the top necessarily? I don't know. Maybe not. But he will. So now we've got 7 in play over there. And that means Brown has the option to save this. Does Brown want to go all the way up? Brown's going all the way up. He puts his 10 on Anatol. And we're not going to have that. In fact, what we're going to do is, are we going to spend to remove this investigation? Anatol's my 10. You know, I don't want to cost him because of Andrzej here. I just want to kind of freeze things as they are. Do I want to open up investigations below this level? Well, C, definitely not. OVU, so, yeah, maybe. Let me look again. O, V, and U. So the problem here is these guys all look pretty similar. V is the most dangerous of them all, and V is the one I have points in. So I'm not going to open up an investigation against any of these. That would kind of expose my level of interest, wouldn't it? I don't know. See, O and U are a problem here. C, I am interested in. I want to leave this tied up as it is. I'm pretty happy not exposing anything at this point. Yeah. And nobody can take Anatol away from me. So, we're good there. It's health time. I'm going to roll the dice. I'll come back after this because this is just kind of a tedious mechanical aspect. But most of this game is these decisions, which are particularly unimportant if I step away from the game and try to do it at an abstract level like I like to. Alright, well, results are interesting here. In the health phase, Nestor got better. Andrzej did not. Anatol got unwell, and strangely enough, Natasha and Vasily are less than well. That spells poorly for them. You know, these young guys, they rolling that badly is odd. Now, they're more likely to recover than the older folks. There's no funeral commission. Everybody's still alive. The party chief doesn't exist, so he can't do his replacement action here. He can't shift people away. Everybody holds their same position, which is kind of an odd situation. And there's nothing really, no one can get canned and no one can get promoted. Nothing to rehabilitate. No chance of a parade. Because Nestor's taking the cure. And that's another. So now Nestor, you know, he's living along. Actually, Green's put a lot of points into him. This is, you know, his major investment in the game. Ooh. We're on turn 3. When do we add the influence? Is that now? third, sixth, at the end of the turn. Okay. So, and you have to actually reveal it, which is the painful part. Nestor isn't generating any points for me yet. And he's getting pretty old. I mean, he's only got 11 more years and then he's retired if he manages to survive. He's also ill. This is the problem. So at 84 at work, there's a pretty good chance he's going to get worse or die. On the other hand, at 84 in the sanitarium, there's a good chance he'll survive this. Nobody's got any investigation or anything against him. I'm going to pick up some age, but I think I'm going to stay in the cure. He's just so damn old. So he just gets 1 for being party chief. And we'll see if we can get him recovered out of that 1 level of illness. Well, maybe we'll be able to waive. Not this turn, but next turn. Andre is even in a worse position here. Old and sick. How does Brown feel about him? He's F. Brown doesn't have a lot of points in him. The problem is he's under investigation now. That's bad. Can he be protected? Well, I only have 1 point in him. I'm going to say on odds, I'm pulling him out of the cure. It's just not really worth it to me. I know I put him in there. But with that investigation, I'll leave him in there. There's a good chance he's going to get sent to Siberia, though. Otherwise, we have... Okay, but he gets a year because he is under investigation. And likewise, Victor gets a year for being under investigation. Anatole is not under investigation, but he's sick. I got a lot of points invested in him. I've got my 10 showing on him. That's not good at all. Nobody's going to be able to beat that right now. If somebody does have a 10, they'll put a point in him and trump maybe, except that he's sick and kind of dying. What do I want to do? Do I want to... I always got to get their necks to the line, and they look funny, really funny. Kind of like Quirk's Critters, which work the same way. Hook 2 things together that aren't necessarily related. If I take the cure, I survive, more likely. You know what? I am the defense minister. KGB's in the cure. I can do this. He's taking the cure. All right, now the next one is Vasily here at U. And we've got 3 people who are interested in him. He's only 57 years old, though. He's actually pretty likely to get healthy. I don't think anybody really wants to reveal themselves to put him on the cure. If he had double illness, maybe. Same thing with Natasha. We've got high vote counts on them in both cases. We don't really want to do this. Okay, but we do have some problems. He's ideology. That gives him a penalty. So he's going to age 2 years for being in the wrong thing still and for being sick. Natasha would age a year, but she likes the economy, so she stays fine. We go to the purge. Oh, it's not entirely safe. Oh, I forgot somebody else gets these. Shit. Okay. I thought, I'm safe from the purge. Well, let's let that mistake ride and see what happens. So, KGB head this is section 2, 2A, ideology. Ideology gets to purge someone. What's the cost? Well, we got to look in the rules again because, unfortunately, the player aid doesn't give that. The cost for a purge, if it's unsuccessful, Okay, if it's successful, the KGB head gets an SP. If it's unsuccessful, he ages 3. Yeah. Well, there are people who are easy to purge. So these guys are at 11 right now. Unfortunately, nobody has big points on Vasily, but clearing things means Alexei comes out. So, anybody got big points on Alexei? Yellow does. Does he have points on Vasily? No. So he's not going to have the option. Probably not going to be able to purge 2 of these guys in the cure and just, wipe out the whole world there. So I don't think anybody's going to declare that. Okay. So we go to the spy investigation. That's step 3. Where's 3A? Foreign Minister Victor. Victor. Okay, Victor is Z. Olive's invested in this too. So Blue Victor is going to be able to do investigations, and he can actually knock somebody off the board. He's going to go for Andrzej unless, he doesn't have any. And Olive doesn't have any. So we're going to have a vote to see if Andrzej gets sent off to Siberia. Hey, why not? You want to get rid of people, right? All right. So what do we need? We need 2 innocent votes to keep him there. Well, none of the top row except for Victor gets to vote. Victor says, yeah, he's guilty, man. I brought him in. Okay. Brings it to Vasily, who's U. Now, who cares about F? Only one person, Brown. U doesn't have any. That's not going to happen. All right? Only Brown cares about this. Everyone else is willing to let him go, so let's keep looking. O, he doesn't have that vote. V, he has votes for Natasha. Does he have C as well? Yes, he does. So, I want to save my dude. Brown is going to put a single bid on Natasha at this point to say, he's innocent. Who else is involved in Natasha, or with her? Green is. Green probably doesn't want to overburden that vote, showing its hand, but going up to a 2 doesn't seem terrible. Remember, Green's got a 9 here. Well, Brown really kind of doesn't terribly want to save Andrzej. So there's a question of how high am I willing to go here? I'm going to let Andrzej go to Siberia because I've only got 1 point on him and I don't know who else does. Nobody's stepping up to defend him but me. But hey, I don't really want to reveal big points on Natasha for this. Not at this stage in the game. So, his cure marker goes away. His suspicion goes away. He goes to Siberia and, that 1 point is removed. I no longer have that influence on him. In fact, nobody has any, which means he's not going to get rehabilitated. Nobody cares about him. He's just out there. And he doesn't have to worry about any health rolls, though, because he's not in the Politburo. All right. Do we want to spread problems for other people as Victor? Well, Victor doesn't want to be under suspicion. We know that. He doesn't like that idea. And then the next thing is, all right, let's target some people. Hey, we're up at the top rank here. I think we want to go after Anatoly. He's I. And the other victor holder doesn't really care about that. He'll let that go. So we put the defense minister under suspicion himself while he's away. What about the next level? Do I want to target these folks? Well, let's look at C. I got big votes on C. You know what? C's the guy who's going to creep up on his own. I'm going to leave this alone. I don't want to raise Victor's age and maybe reveal that I've got C here. So, you know, I'm just going to hold back. No reason to go further. Hey, what about Nestor? Yeah, let's hit Nestor. So Olive has a point on Nestor, but he knows he's not going to get control. He'll let that go too. We'll put good old Nestor under suspicion. That'll age him a little quicker. And Blue, with his 10-point on Victor, feels pretty certain I got a good chance of waving here. Victor's looking dangerous. People, though, are looking at him and saying, well, with only 2 points, maybe I can get him. Is it possible that nobody put a big bid on him? Or are they just letting Blue do whatever the hell he wants with them because it's not that bad? They're in agreement with it. Hard to tell. All right, it's time to roll the health dice. And let's see what we... Well, sad to say, poor Anatole didn't make it. 72 years old. Although, you know, you don't know what the actual age is because the game kind of abstracts it, but some big influence on him. He just didn't make it through the sanitarium. So he's buried with full honors, even though he was under investigation. And that clears up a space here. Over here, Vasily ended up healing. Nobody else has got any better. Alexei is very, very ill now. And there's a big bid on him. The danger of old folk, right? All right. So, it's funeral commission. There isn't one. We don't have a party chief death. So now we go to replacements, and there are none there either. Well, there's nothing that the party chief can do. But we do have some promotions. The next slot promoted is going to be Alexei, who gets moved over to the KGB head. And now Oleg gets moved into the defense ministry. Nothing gets shifted. It's being done by age. Nothing gets shifted around here. However, now that we've had first level promotions, we can have second level promotions. Alexei is able to push people forward. Now, there's people with lots of points in Alexei. His age is already a problem. Do I want to spend some points to up someone? Especially when that kind of puts a label on them. And that's part of the, psychology of this game. You might put someone forward that you don't have points on. I don't want to do that here because I'm not keeping track of who's doing what. But the one thing I don't want to do is upgrade my own people unless I have a really, really good reason to do so. So do I? What about some of these lower ranking people like Bungalov and Patina? Are they interesting? S and W. W, Black would be interested in. Does he have a C? No. Okay, so let's look at this. S and W. He's interested in S. And Yellow's interested in W. Well, let's see. Black Is not interested. Brown is interested. Let's see if he triggers something now. Yellow was interested in W. Let's see if he triggers something. Nah. And our final C is blue, who's interested in W. R is also kind of interesting here as a possibility. So blue, will he do it? Blue is interested. Blue's going to put a pip down. And he's going to say, all right, let's upgrade W. Let's upgrade Bungalow, and we want to make him Minister of Sport because he's really good at that. And he's really bad at industry. All right. Well, we've just kind of triggered that we have this, but now the question is, who are my other people in charge here? Brown and yellow. Yellow is perfectly happy with this. Is Brown willing to counter this? No. So this actually costs poor Alexei a year of his life. And Bungalow has been moved up to sports. Do I want to do another one? I've already spent the point, right? Well, maybe. R and S are interesting. Not really to me. D? Nah. So I've got old folk here. Old folk you just let bubble up. You don't promote them. But this is kind of troublesome in the sense that everybody kind of thinks blue has an investment in them. They could be wrong. Next promotion, Victor. Do I want to promote someone with Victor? I don't think so. And more than that, I don't think Olive, or whatever this color is, wants to reveal any points on Victor. They're going to let blue kind of push him forward unless something terrible's happening here. Alexei, there's a reason to put him forward. He's dying. He's probably in a lot of trouble, so you want to kind of push your own people forward at that point. Do I have any great desire to push one of these guys forward? See, this is tricky. Like O, I'm very heavily on O, who I thought was on the board. Oh, O is Satan. Oh, blue has like all kinds of bids on the folk that are at the top right now. Yeah, and I think I'm happy there. Oh, this poor guy hates the KGB. Yeah, all right. So let's go on to O. Nobody's got a tiny bid on O either, so it's kind of a revelation if you spend him. I don't like doing that. I'm going to hold off on that, which means we get the automatic promotions. Lech becomes the industry dude. And then Carl Crackham heads, well, let's look through these. Vasily at U. No cheap things. What about Lech? Nobody's really cheap on Lech either. Natasha. Everybody's got big bids on her. Leonid at W. Blue could probably play this and pull his own people up. I think he's going to spend a point and reveal that he's got interest in Leonid. And what does he want to pull forward? Well, he wants to pull something forward that he doesn't care much about. He's got a one-pointer on P. Turns out other people have P. But I'm going to declare that I'm putting P forward as a new candidate from the people. All right. So now we look at people who have Bungalow. And are they interested in P? He actually likes P. He likes P. Everybody likes P more than him, except for green. Does green want to reveal to prevent this? Probably not. That's an expensive action to take. So man jack goes up here, and we go up to a 55. All right. You want to put more up? Yeah, why not? We're going to put Ulan up. All right. Well, again, Ulan's a Y, and W and Y is actually shared by everyone, so no one's going to object to putting this young whippersnapper up there. And we get a couple of promotions. And that means we've kept people like Carl Crackamheads that people put bids in on thinking, okay, you know, chances are everybody will be kind of mild and they won't put people forward. Well, Blue's putting people forward. Blue feels like, I got a lot of power right here. I can protect my people. That's part of why they're doing this. Control of the government at the almost highest levels. Rehabilitation, nobody cares about poor Andre here. He's pretty much out of the game at this point. Parade, there's not going to be any waving. And now comes the influence. What order is this placed in? Damned if I remember. Clockwise order, starting with the player currently to the left of the highest active Politburo member. Well, I use counterclockwise always in my game, so black is going to make the first choice because he's to the right of the person controlling Alexei. All right, well, is there anywhere I want to put points? Hard call. What about Lech? Nobody's got points on Lech, but I've got points on Lech. Lech is interesting. Satan over there. Oh. See, but he started the game in here. I've got to put points somewhere. Nitwiko. It's just really kind of a shit, where do I put my points? And I don't know how to make this decision very easily. It's hard to make even when you're playing it opposed. Because you just don't have the information about what other people have down. So, first of all, nobody's been revealing here, but if I put a 2 there, I'm not going to get Nestor, and I'm not too interested in Nestor. This guy, probably not going to survive. Victor. Unless I have points on Victor, I'm not putting any on there. I'm pretty sure he's heavily endowed with points. Oleg started out the game on the board, so I don't want to. Vasily started out the game on the board. I've got a big 10 on Vasily. I don't think anybody's got that much on him. Lech. Lech is an interesting option. I think I'll pass on him. Natasha. Bungalov. I got a big score on Bungalov, but you know what? Blue put points on him. Bungalov's very young. He's the kind of person that you might have decent points on. I have a humongous amount on him, though, because he was a candidate. I'm going to hold off on that. So now, okay, I've passed on all the big guys here. We've seen Manchak and Puchnik put up by Blue. Whatever I do, Blue can counter on them. So now I start looking. Nitwiko looks really interesting to me. I can't seem to roll an odd number. What about Nikitin? I have no points on Nikitin, and he was here already, so he's not interesting. Patina? I got no points on Patina. I've already got points on Crackham Heads. What about Pavlarian? I just don't know where to put my points. I would be drawing cards at this point, I think, because I don't know what to do with my influence on him. I'm going to have to break away and think some more. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to put people down here, or even here, to put influence on them. You want it on people you think you got a shot at. And when I look at the board, the only thing I think I had a shot at is up here. That's why I said I would take cards at that point, because the choice was really... I had run out of choices up here. So I've gone and thought, what's the best thing I can think of? I think it's upping my points on Lech. Lech is a 6, putting 2 more in him. He's fairly old. He's got a pretty good chance of me going forward. Of course, this makes it look like I've got influence on him. Everybody probably knows I already have some. So if they're in the running for Lech, they're going to be interested in that. I'll go through the rest of the players and come back after that to talk about what everything lands on. We've got an interesting but really terrible decision here that I wanted to highlight. Olive is putting a 2-point bid on Nestor. Now, Olive has 1 more point. I'm putting this down and saying to yellow, pick one of us. Pick me or pick green. Yellow has to bid. Well, he has the deciding choice. He could, if he doesn't bid, he's handing it to green. So the question then becomes, all right, well, green's revealed points on the board already. Olive hasn't. I'm going to hand it to green. Unless, let's see, Victor, I'm not interested in. Natasha, I'm not interested in. Yeah, I'm going to hand it to green. There might be some, bad feeling if somebody else is on there. And that means green has the tiebreaker there, though. But Olive has another point in reserve still. However, green has another 8 in reserve. Anyway, this is a very weird thought which might cause green to consider throwing another point into Nestor. Because that 2 points that he just revealed might be enough to put him above the 10. The only problem here is Nestor's ill. I don't think that he's going to wave again or ever. So I don't want to throw my points there. Probably. We see some increases. Strangely enough, nothing on Victor. I almost thought blue would go. I thought blue should go there. Or on maybe Satan. Right now, he feels like he has control of all of these. If blue had added 1 to Victor, he could have put an 11 on there, a 10 plus. Guaranteed himself that, and then put another point somewhere else. Instead, what he did was he upped his bid on Bungalow, who's someone he put up there. But there wasn't any disagreement. So he kind of feels like maybe other people have points on him, and they do. He also could have competed with Lech. Right now, 2 people put their +2 on Lech. And blue did not. Lech is a good person to put a medium-sized bid on because he was down, below, but likely to come up. Anyway, that's our placement there. And we're going back up to the next turn. I think this video is long enough.